Canelo Álvarez is one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing today. He's not just a champion, he's a complete fighter. Fast hands, heavy punches, and a rock-solid defense. People know him for his ability to adapt to any style. Whether his opponent is taller, faster, or stronger, Canelo always finds a way to win. That's why he's one of the most respected and feared names in the sport. Some of his most legendary fights include his battles with Gennady GGG Golovkin. Those wars are still talked about as some of the best boxing matches of the last decade. His wins over fighters like Miguel Cotto, Sergey Kovalev, and Caleb Plant showed how good he really is, moving through weight classes and taking on every challenge. But before a winning streak comes the grind. Canelo is known for brutal training camps. He spends months sharpening every skill: strength training, sparring, cardio, and endless technical drills. His routine is strict: early mornings, strict diet, and no shortcuts. That's what makes him a monster in the ring, and not just talent, but discipline. Fans admire him because they know he works harder than almost anyone to stay at the top. Canelo Alvarez starts most of his training days with a run before the sun comes up. Around 6 a.m., while most people are still sleeping, he's already outside putting in the work. These runs aren't just for show, they are a huge part of his fight preparation. Running helps him cut weight, keep his body lean, and build the endurance he needs to go hard for 12 rounds. But it's not just slow jogging. Canelo often mixes in interval sprints during his road work. He'll run at a steady pace for a bit, then suddenly sprint as fast as he can for a short distance before slowing down again. This mimics the way a boxing match feels: periods of calm footwork followed by explosive bursts of punching and movement. Running early also sets the tone for the rest of his day. It gives him a mental edge, makes him feel disciplined, and gets him in the right headspace to train later in the gym. Many fighters say road work is where they build their engine, and for Canelo, that engine is what lets him throw power shots even in the championship rounds when his opponents are exhausted. Canelo Alvarez's strength and conditioning training is one of the secrets behind his power and durability in the ring. 3 times a week, usually on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, he focuses on building explosive strength and overall conditioning. These sessions aren't about lifting the heaviest weights possible. They're about becoming faster, stronger, and more efficient as a boxer. A big part of his routine is circuit training. Instead of resting after each exercise, Canelo moves quickly from one station to the next. He'll do medicine ball slams to build punching power, push-ups to strengthen his upper body, and squats or lunges to develop strong legs. He also works on his neck strength, which helps him absorb punches and stay balanced when trading shots. Shadow boxing with light weights is another favorite drill. It helps him increase hand speed and maintain punching form even when tired. These circuits push his heart rate high, forcing him to work under fatigue. Exactly what happens in a real fight. By combining strength, endurance, and explosive exercises, Canelo develops a body that can throw fast, powerful punches for 12 rounds. This is why he always shows up looking sharp, strong, and ready to dominate. Canelo Alvarez is known for being one of the most skilled boxers in the world, and a lot of that comes from endless hours spent drilling his technique. Every day in camp, he works on combinations, defense, and movement until they become second nature. His coach, Eddie Reynoso, focuses heavily on repetition, doing the same combinations over and over so that Canelo doesn't even have to think about them during a fight. He spends time on the heavy bag throwing power shots, on the mitts practicing counters, and on the double end bag to improve timing and rhythm. The Cobra bag is one of his favorite tools for head movement and reflex training. By slipping and rolling under the bag, he learns to avoid punches and come back with quick counters. Canelo's drills always include both offense and defense. For example, he might throw a three-punch combo and immediately slip as if an opponent is firing back. This hit and don't get hit mentality is what makes him so hard to catch cleanly. All of this technical work ensures that when fight night comes, his body reacts automatically, letting him focus on reading his opponent and setting traps instead of thinking about what punch to throw next. Sparring is one of the most important parts of Canelo Alvarez's preparation, and he takes it very seriously. During training camp, he usually spars 3 times a week, but the intensity and number of rounds depend on how close he is to fight night. The goal isn't just to get in shape, it's to simulate the real fight as closely as possible. Canelo and his coach, Eddie Reynoso, carefully choose sparring partners that match the style, height, and weight of his upcoming opponent. If he's fighting a tall fighter, they bring in tall sparring partners. If he's facing a slick boxer, they find someone who moves well and uses lots of jabs. This allows Canelo to adjust his timing, distance, and strategy before stepping into the ring for the real thing. Even during sparring, Canelo works on his trademark head movement, defensive rolls, and sharp counters. He uses these sessions to practice staying calm under pressure and to test new combinations or strategies. Sparring also builds mental toughness. Getting hit and having to respond teaches a fighter how to stay composed. By fight night, Canelo feels like he's already seen every possible scenario, and that's what makes him so dangerous. Canelo Álvarez understands that what he eats is just as important as how he trains. His diet is designed to keep him strong, lean, and energized throughout camp. After his early morning run, he usually has a light but protein-rich breakfast, something like egg whites with ham and a glass of orange juice. This helps him recover from the run and prepare for the gym later in the day. For lunch, Canelo keeps things balanced with a good portion of lean protein, chicken, fish, or steak, along with nutrient-rich vegetables like broccoli, carrots, squash, or cauliflower. These meals give him the fuel he needs for his strength and conditioning sessions, as well as his boxing drills. Throughout the day, he snacks on light, healthy foods such as apples, grapes, cucumbers, or jicama to keep his energy levels stable. Dinner is usually very clean, often a protein shake with little to no carbs, especially if he is cutting weight for a fight. This strict nutrition plan helps Canelo maintain his weight class without sacrificing muscle or strength. Combined with his intense training schedule, it's one of the main reasons he always shows up in incredible shape and ready to go 12 hard rounds. Recovery is a huge part of Canelo Álvarez's success, and it's something he takes very seriously during training camp. Hard workouts mean nothing if your body can't heal and come back stronger. So, Canelo uses several methods to speed up recovery and stay fresh for the next session. One of his favorite recovery techniques is taking ice baths. After intense sparring or strength training, sitting in freezing water helps reduce muscle inflammation and soreness. This allows him to train hard again the next day without feeling completely worn out. Canelo also uses cryotherapy, a modern recovery method where he steps into a chamber with extremely cold air for a short period. This helps flush out lactic acid and keeps his muscles feeling light and ready to go. Sleep is another key factor. Canelo makes sure to get enough rest every night and even takes naps during the day when needed. Good sleep is where most of the real recovery happens. Muscles repair, energy refills, and the mind resets. By combining ice baths, cryotherapy, and proper sleep, Canelo can handle one of the toughest training schedules in boxing without burning out, which is why he always peaks at the right time before a fight. Canelo Álvarez isn't just physically strong, he's one of the smartest fighters in boxing, and that comes from his mental preparation. Training camp isn't only about running, sparring, and lifting weights. Canelo spends a lot of time with his coach, Eddie Reynoso, studying opponents and building the perfect game plan for each fight. They watch footage of the upcoming opponent, looking for habits, weaknesses, and openings. If the opponent likes to jab a lot, they'll work on counters for the jab. If the opponent moves a lot, they'll focus on cutting off the ring. This preparation allows Canelo to step into the ring knowing exactly what he needs to do. Mental focus is also part of his daily routine. He stays disciplined outside the gym. No partying, no distractions, no breaking the training schedule. This kind of mindset keeps him sharp and locked in on the goal. Canelo is known for staying calm under pressure. He never panics, even in tough rounds, because he trusts the work he's done in camp. This mental edge lets him set traps, time his counters, and outsmart opponents, proving that boxing is as much a thinking game as it is a physical one. Canelo Álvarez is more than just a boxer. He's one of the most complete fighters of this generation. He's not the tallest guy in his division, and his reach isn't freakishly long, but he makes up for that with smart footwork, slick head movement, and perfect timing. What makes Canelo so dangerous is that he doesn't waste energy. He picks his shots carefully, then lands them with real power and precision that can completely change the fight. Fans love watching him because he's not just a brawler, he's a thinker in the ring. He studies opponents, sets traps, and slowly breaks them down, usually with brutal body shots that sap their energy. His ability to stay calm, even under pressure, is something fighters respect. Canelo has evolved over the years, too. Early in his career, he threw more punches per round and fought with more aggression. Now he's more calculated, more efficient, and even more dangerous. It's this mix of skill, ring IQ, and discipline that keeps him at the top of the pound-for-pound rankings. Whether you love him or root against him, every Canelo fight feels like a big event, because you know something special might happen. One of the most interesting things about Canelo Álvarez's career is how his punch style has changed over the years. Early in his career, Canelo threw a lot more punches. He was younger, hungry to impress, and relied on sheer volume to overwhelm his opponents. You could see him throwing combinations nonstop, putting pressure just by staying busy, but as he matured as a fighter, he became way more efficient. These days, Canelo doesn't waste punches. He waits for the perfect opening and throws with real purpose. Instead of throwing 5 shots and landing 2, he might throw 3 and land all of them. This not only saves energy, but also frustrates his opponents because they never know when the next big shot is coming. His improved timing is a big reason he became so dangerous. Canelo sets traps, slips punches, and then lands counters that do serious damage. This shift from high volume to high efficiency has also helped his stamina. He can stay strong and dangerous into the later rounds because he isn't wasting energy early. It's a perfect example of a fighter evolving, using experience and ring IQ to become even more effective while doing less. When Canelo prepares for a fight, it's not just a workout, it's a full-time job. His training camps are carefully planned and every day is built around getting him in the best possible shape. Mornings usually start early with a run around 6 a.m. to build cardio and get his weight under control. After breakfast and some rest, the real work begins. On most days, Canelo splits his training into 2 sessions. Afternoons are for boxing drills, working on combinations, head movement, and sparring with partners who mimic his next opponent's style. Strength and conditioning sessions are mixed in on certain days, focusing on explosive exercises like medicine ball slams, push-ups, squats, and core work. Evenings are about recovery, a good meal, stretching, sometimes ice baths or cryotherapy. Sundays are his rest day, which is just as important as the training itself, letting his body reset. What makes his camp special is the focus on detail. His coach, Eddie Reynoso, fine-tunes every part of the process, from sparring intensity to strategy sessions where they study fight footage. That's why Canelo always looks so sharp and prepared when it's time to step into the ring. Part of what makes Canelo Álvarez so exciting is the history he's built inside the ring. Over the years, he's given fans some of the most talked-about fights in boxing. His first huge test came in 2013 against Floyd Mayweather Jr. Canelo was still young and undefeated, but Mayweather's defense and counterpunching were too much. That loss turned out to be a blessing. Canelo came back smarter and started sharpening every part of his game. Then came the legendary rivalry with Gennady Gigi Golovkin. Their first fight ended in a controversial draw, leaving fans debating for months. In the rematch, Canelo surprised everyone by standing his ground and walking forward, winning a hard-fought decision. Those 2 wars are now considered modern classics. Canelo's move up in weight created even more memorable moments. His knockout of Sergey Kovalev at light heavyweight was a perfect example of timing and power, and when he defeated Caleb Plant to become the undisputed super middleweight champion, it was a historic moment, the first Mexican boxer ever to unify all 4 belts in a division. These fights proved that Canelo isn't just talented. He's willing to take risks, face the best, and deliver when it matters. Canelo Álvarez's story is not just about boxing. It's about growth, discipline, and proving that with the right mindset, you can become one of the best in the world. From a young fighter in Mexico with fiery red hair to a global superstar headlining arenas, Canelo has never stopped working. Every setback made him sharper, every fight made him smarter, and every training camp turned him into an even more complete fighter. What makes him so fascinating is the balance he's found. He's a powerhouse with knockout ability, but also a strategist who can outthink the best. He's aggressive when he needs to be, calm when the moment demands it, and always seems to have another gear when a fight gets tough. That mix of power, precision, and patience is rare, and it's why fans keep tuning in. For anyone watching, Canelo's journey is a lesson in evolution. He shows that you don't have to be perfect from the start. You can take a loss, learn from it, and come back stronger. You can improve your cardio, tighten your defense, and find smarter ways to win. And that's why every time Canelo steps into the ring, there's electricity in the air. People know they're about to witness a master at work, someone who represents the best of what boxing can be. Whether he's breaking down a tough opponent with body shots or landing that one perfect punch that ends the fight, Canelo reminds us why we love this sport. So if you want inspiration, look at Canelo. He's proof that hard work, consistency, and the courage to evolve can turn a good fighter into a living legend.